Wait. I'm not ready.
Well, here we go again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and listeners of all ages and calibers. It is time to sit down, adjust your eyesight, because yes, those handsome faces in front of you are the crew from VTSR, Veterans Transitional Support Reconnaissance Show, and they are here to bring you the love, the sweet, smooth sounds of freedom. Yes, here we go. Take it away. That sexy Puerto Rican JP Cervantes, his sidekick Mike, and the tall obscure Yeti Nate.
Welcome to VTSR, you mofos. What's going on, Mike?
Not much, man.
I am doing great, man. I'm Tindering. And when I say I'm Tindering, no, I'm not back on Tinder. No. Because I got a girlfriend.
Oh, la-di-da.
It's no, man, check it out. So I'm watching this freaking show on Netflix. It's called The Tinder Swindler, right? And apparently this guy took millions of dollars from girls on Tinder, right? And when you start watching the show and you're listening to these girls, you go like, you are retarded. You deserve to get all your money taken away. I mean, come on, man. I mean, but this guy was pretty smart though, right? Because you know how we see that, you know, if you try to look for the image of that person, it really is somebody else, you know, whatever. This guy was so smart. He set up an actual website for the diamond company that he owned, right? And so he had a full website. He got an email and a domain to reply to the girls from the diamond website. He had checks with the corporation name and everything.
At least he went all in.
I gotta give him this. He put effort into it. But these girls are like, oh yeah, I met him and I fell in love with him. And he asked me for my credit card, so I gave it to him. And it was a security because the diamonds, you know, diamond industry is so tough that people want to kill you. So they were tracking his credit card usage. So he asked me for mine.
It's like True Lies, where everybody's pretending to be a spy.
Dude, I gotta laugh.
Love is blind.
And you know what? We were talking about it earlier before we started recording, guys. But we were talking about what happened with Tinder was supposed to be a hookup app. And now it's like serious relationship kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah.
And then girls get mad when a guy goes like, hey,
I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah,
hey, Nate
they
used
get mad. They get so furious.
Yeah, well, I remember a while back when I used Tinder for a little bit until I got so mad. I think I went in like 2 Tinder dates. Maybe one Bumble, 1 Tinder, something like that. Bro, the first one was horrible, bro.
7 grinders.
No, bro. She's sitting at the bar. Actually, it was Charlie Mike's. She's sitting over there. I walked in and she have already ordered and put stuff on my tab and everything. I'm like, what the hell? Like, well, I just met you. Actually, I literally just met you, right? And then she goes like,
and this was at Charlie
and then
Mike's.
she's like, did you delete it? I'm like, delete what? The app.
Oh yeah, you told me about this one.
I remember.
Yeah.
The app. I'm like, I just met you. What are you talking about? Oh, well, you need to delete the app and any phone numbers of females you got on your phone, you need to delete. I'm like, well, I hope you enjoyed that one drink because I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, people be crazy.
You need to tell people at Charlie Mike's that you don't have an ongoing tab. You need to
he called me after he had that date and he ran on for a rant for an hour. He was so livid that she would order drinks, delete the app, like she was planning their whole marriage and future.
Yeah.
No. My question is why did Charlie Mike's allow her to put
they actually didn't put it on my tab. They opened her a tab. She thought it was on my tab.
Yeah, they know better.
Yeah, they
know better.
Okay.
Yeah, because she told him, "Hey, do you know JP?" He's like, "Yeah, he's coming to meet me, so I want to open a tab. So she thought she was opening a tab on my name. It was actually her name. So the only good thing I got out of that day that I didn't pay for the drinks.
Nice.
The only 2 drinks we got. One her, one me, because I was out of the door.
Surprised you stayed for that.
And you know what is funny? This is the funny part. Is like I never took anyone to that bar, right? So when we were trying to figure out where we were gonna go and have drinks, she said, "Well, there's a little bar that nobody goes to," and it's like, yeah, let's go to this. I always wanted to go there. Let's go to Charlie. Myself, like, son of a bitch. That's my. I'm like, that's my spot.
She knew. She was fishing you.
she probably knew. Yeah, but the thing is,
she's probably stalking you on Instagram. Knew where you go all the time.
Yeah,
and knew what she was
and
getting
she's
into.
like, man, this dumbass fell for it. Yeah,
so
but
on that same note, though, these women do know these things, because one of the girls I used to work with at Popeyes, she went to school with a girl who then became a stripper. Whatever, no big deal. And this guy propositioned her on Facebook, said, "Hey, I'm in town, in this town or wherever that you're working at. I'm here for a week. Let's hang out." And the girl's like, I'm sorry, I don't really know you. And he's like, "Yeah, but how much for a night?" And she's like, "Excuse me?" She then took his profile picture, found his Facebook, messaged her circle, and with 1 hour, they knew exactly where this guy worked.
What?
And had his wife's information. So, and I stood there, and this all happened while we were on a shift. I was like, man, these women have got some skills. When they put their little network together, I'm impressed. I'm like,
you know what? The U.S. government is misusing resources. You don't need the CIA to find bin Laden. All you needed was to go to one spouse, and tell her, "I think your husband is cheating on you with bin Laden." And that bitch will find bin Laden in 24 hours.
Right? His case, his address, they would have known exactly his routine, right? They would have found him at his gym with his massage oils, and they would have known when his dialysis was getting changed. Yeah.
I'm telling you, he would have been found like that. You want to find anybody, you just tell some girl the husband is fucking cheating on her with whoever, and it's done deal. They can't hide. They just can't hide, man.
No, they know this technology shit better.
Am I right, Mike?
And who would? Hey, the possibility is SEAL team didn't freaking kill Bin Laden.
Maybe he was some pissed off girlfriend.
Might have been her.
Some pissed off girlfriend, and then SEAL team went like, "Oh shit, she took him out for us." Oh, okay. Well, we did it.
That explains the crashed helicopter, though, because she was driving mad.
Probably because women can't drive.
And this last one that they took out, there was a crashed helicopter too, right?
That is correct. It's a standard operating procedure now, right? If you didn't crash a helicopter,
doesn't count.
It didn't happen. Yeah, because there's no proof that you were really there, right? It's like that whole "don't leave your equipment behind" is not longer there. I mean, we left a lot of shit in Afghanistan.
Littering is the new thing.
Let's not get on that.
Yeah, man. So, anyways, we were just ranting about that earlier, Nate, about the freaking.
Okay.
I know you use Grindr. I know you like that one.
The slap chat, yeah, the slap chat.
The slap chat.
Slap chat.
It's Russian, but it's making a comeback.
Oh, that's
it's Ukrainian.
Is that where we get someone comes out and slaps you?
Yeah.
You put a request for a slap.
If she walks up and slaps you and you can take it, she'll buy you a drink and give you some borscht. It's Ukrainian. Bro, don't worry about it. No, I am sorry that I was late getting on the show. I was online. I'm looking to purchase a new first aid kit because I feel like treating myself.
I thought you were going to say you were on OnlyFans.
I was on OnlyFans. I was my only fan. And my grandmother. She's really supportive. I appreciate her. She picks the outfits.
So you were doing what? I'm sorry.
You're not from West Virginia?
You were late. You were doing what?
I was looking for first aid kits. I felt like I wanted to treat myself.
Are we supposed to laugh at that one?
I was like,
oh my!
I was like, how is he treating himself? Let's see here.
I like. Can somebody draw that in the board for me? And like, I need a visual. I need a visual for this one.
Yeah. Well, speaking of visuals, my dad actually just called me this morning. He's been in the hospital for about 4 hours. And I said, well, what's going on? He's like, well, I swallowed this invisible ink. And I'm like, oh, no. So what are they doing for you? And he goes, I'm waiting to be seen.
All right, Nate. We're going to mute you for the rest of the podcast.
That's bad. That's
I
bad.
think we're going to mute you, bro.
All right.
You are insane.
I know. I was tested by the Army. It was
Like
the only test
like a dad
I positively passed was the crazy test. They said I did a great job.
Hey, man, before I forget, today we got an amazing guest that we're going to introduce later on. But Kevin, let me see if I'm gonna mess this up. And we just rehearsed it there, Mike.
The beef.
The beef. Kevin
Leboeuf.
Leboeuf. Now say it like a Canadian. Say it like a Canadian. Leboeuf.
Okay.
Lebout?
Kevin Leboeuf. Kevin Leboeuf.
A.
Anyways,
A.
so we got him tonight. But first, I want to tell you, man, we are getting a lot of great feedback from the last episode of VTSR with Campo Amor, or Country Love.
Country Love.
Yeah. And I don't know, I didn't want to put the whole text out on social media, but if you heard the last episode with Campo Amor, he talked about a support person that he was his favorite soldier in the world, right? Well, that support person apparently heard the podcast.
Nice.
And contacted him and said, I didn't know like you felt that way about the work I did. And he said, and apparently that person has been going through a lot of lows this last few years. And he said that listening to that made him feel something like he's worth something again. And I was like, holy snap. Saving one person at a time. That's what I'm talking about. One at a time. It's powerful. I'll send you guys a screenshot.
So what's
send
about?
you guys a screenshot of that. But I didn't want to post it on social media, but send you a screenshot of that. It's just pretty powerful, pretty amazing. So that's why we do what we do. It's freaking awesome, man. Anyways, we got here tonight a Canadian, because we got Nate working finding guests. So we, of course, he's doing it all in Canada. We got a Canadian here with us, Kevin Leboeuf. And Kevin served in the military in Canada, and he also got his own company doing beard stuff. Of course, if it's up to me, he will. If it's up to me, he will die of hunger.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, he will die of hunger because I ain't got no beard. But anyways, hey, what's going on, Kevin? Welcome to the show.
Hey, 2 out of 3 here.
Yeah.
We're good.
What's going on, Kevin? Welcome to the show.
Hey! Thanks for having me, guys. It's really an honor to be on the show. Heard a bunch of good stuff about this.
Awesome. Hey, Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about you? Tell us where you're from, everything, man. We want to know it all.
Yeah, definitely. So I grew up in Quebec, born in Quebec, Montreal. So I learned French and English at the same time. Not really sure what I speak first or primary language. I have no idea. I have no idea. And went through school, had a really hard time with school, and actually left, never graduated high school. And joined the military instead of going to jail, basically. It was basically jail or the military. So chose the military path and became a combat engineer. And then a year later, I was deployed in Afghanistan in 308, and I specialized in Iraq. So expedient route opening clearance, basically. Look for bombs every day, out of the wire, 15 hours a day, basically. And got back and then went high risk search because that was what I was really for, like the adrenaline. And it was quite eye opening, the stuff that I didn't know while I was overseas, that then I knew about that. I was like, oh my God, this is actually fucked up what we did. We didn't have anything we were doing properly. And then I got kicked out for PTSD and anger and threatening civilian, like on base. That was working with us. And I got kicked out pretty fast. And then I didn't know what I was going to do, but grew my beard for the first time in my life. Super excited. Freedom beard. And then it was itchy and dry and flaky, and I hated it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to shave. So I was going to give up on it. And went to the store, bought some products, brought it home. My partner's a holistic nutritionist. She read the labels. She's like, no, fuck no, that's not going on your skin. And we were going to have a baby at the time too. And babies are always close to your face, right? So the transfer of chemical products to the face, I was like, all right, you make a point. Like, I eat healthy and I was aware of what I was putting inside my body, but not on my body. I didn't care. Like, the military was stabbing me every other month and go somewhere and like, I don't know, couple vaccines more. What is it? You know what I mean? It didn't matter. So we made our own products, and then friends wanted some, and friends of friends, and fast forward 4 years basically, and we're in 3,500 locations across Canada, US, Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, and we're just in the final stages of getting our EU certifications. It's like the highest skincare certifications in the world. And once we do that, then we're able to export all the way to Europe. So super excited. We got nine staff full time, and it's been quite a journey. It's been actually cool making your own rules. Like, instead of following rules, it's been quite amazing.
That is pretty cool, man. So you said you had some anger, PTSD issues. I think that's all of us.
I was going to say, isn't that everybody?
Well, I know the base that he worked on, and some of those civilians push buttons.
You know, talking about civilians, I was just talking about it today at Charlie Mike's with a couple of old timers over there, and because somebody was talking about State Department specifically, right? And they said, well, State Department, you know, it's State Department, they're very political, and they will backstab you. All those civilians will backstab you, this and that. Now, I know that because I have worked with them, and I know they're all about moving up in the chain, and they don't care who they got to step on. However, that's everywhere, man. Because when I work in SWEC in the schoolhouse, in the Special Forces schoolhouse here, the civilians that I work with in my area were all retired, Green Berets. And apparently, once they become civilians and they become GS workers, they forget where the hell they came from. And now they're doing the same shit, backstabbing each other, trying to get promoted, the next promotion.
GS is easy. It's contracting is where they really get you. But I have to agree with the Department of State part of that. Because even when they retire, they're still, you know, it's all about them and me. I'm probably going to get some hate mail for this, but I still work with some Department of State folks, and I have to hold my tongue. So,
hey, if anybody's want to send hate mail to him about that, send it to jestertag@gmail.com. That's Mike's email right there, okay? Just letting you guys know.
But there is a height requirement to reach the mailbox.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Short joke.
We knew it was coming, Mike. We knew it was coming.
You got to get at least one in every episode.
Hey,
Next.
hey, Kevin, when you got out of the military, did you have any, you know, it was did you have a hard time adjusting to the civilian life?
Fuck yeah, I still do, man. I've only been out for a few years. It's been, I don't know, man. Like, I was in the Army for 14 years of my life. Basically, as old as I was prior military is like how much time I spent in the military, basically. So, man, I was like, I don't know what do I do? Like, I can't speak to civilians. Like, I don't deal with the staff here at Educated Beards. I don't. Like, my partner does, because I'm just a dickhead.
Hurt their feelings.
I got to be careful. Like, they're just like, why are you such a dick? Why are you so, like, direct? I was like, well, let's cut the blah, blah. Let's get to fucking work. Let's do A, B, C, D, and that's it. Like, so I'm not really good with that. And
you got to hug and coddle and then tell them what you want.
But that's probably why shit gets done, because you're direct and you don't fucking bullshit around.
Yeah, but even the military is like that now, which is sad. Like, now everyone's like, I heard my buddy's teaching on a course, and he's like, we got this person that's identifying as a fox, a fucking fox. They got like ears. They wear ear and tail, and they use a fucking litter box. When does that become an issue? Like, when do you say, hey, man, I'm going to give this person a rifle?
I'm going to carry a bag of cat litter with me.
How in the actual fuck do you pass the eval to get in? Who is the recruiter that sat there and said, oh, hello, Mr. Fox. I'm a chicken hen. I'm going to let you in.
Wusan,
So eat me and come in my house. Who the fuck let that through recruiting? Who is the idiot that they should have kept at the unit, buried in the back of CQ, counting
JP, mute the mic.
JP, mute the mic. That let this person, I'm a fox and I'm on my right mind. Give me a rifle, I'm going to march to war. What in the actual sweet fucking baby Jesus is that shit? Sorry if I offended anybody.
So Kevin, any foxes that work for you?
No, the team is quite tight. It's pretty good. It's actually really good. They know, but we have a bunch of vets that work with us too. Like I have a group of ambassadors, so
right on.
We have like a really tight little group of people that we could support and really check on each other. I got some in the U.S. I got some here. But yeah, we have some vets working in here too, transitioning outside the military. So they report to me, and I'm like, they just know. Like, that's easier than dealing with civilians too. I'm still adapting with that. I think I'll adapt all my life, and especially the way that civilization is going right now in society.
Kevin, what kind of resources do you have available after you got out, or that you tap into? If you did tap into any of them, and did they help you or not?
Holy fuck, man! I'll be honest. So I was majority shareholder of my company at the beginning, and then there wasn't very many doors that would open because they're like, you're a veteran, you don't really know anything about business. So we switched the share structure to my partner, Women in Business now, and all the doors open. So it was kind of sad that happened, because I was like, man, you give $80,000 to vets that get out and want to go reschool and like retrain. There's $80,000 already allocated to guys that want to go out. Why can't I just start my company or start my business, hire people? It's going to help the economy, right? More than me going to school and then going back into as a plug, or try to plug something and be like, oh man, I'm not very good at dealing with civilians, so I'm not going to do anything. But that $80,000 would be worthless, right? At the end of the day, and be like, hey, why isn't that money allocated to veterans that want to start a business? No. You're thinking outside the box here.
That is weird that as a woman, she gets more benefits when everybody's supposed to be neutral now, right? And we're supposed to be neutral, like there's no woman, there's no man, like everybody's the same. Equal?
Yeah.
Equal. Yeah.
Same, different.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I understand, like at one point that, like, obviously there's a lot less women in business. It does make sense that there's more money, or pocket of money, or an envelope of money allocated to them, which is good. But like supporting vets, giving them a purpose right after they get out, there should be a little bit of money allocated to them. And even if it's like 10 grand, okay, you've came up to this, you've hired your first employee, then another 20 grand, like injected, and then another 40 grand, like until you've allocated that $8,000. You don't have to give it all at one time, because, the guys are just going to buy a brand new truck and hookers and blow, basically. But yeah, I don't know.
Those are employees. Those can be employees. To echo what you're saying, though,
tax write-off.
I just had a call this morning with one of my guys that I'm working with and trying to mentor them through that same education program. They have $80,000 allotted to them because of the time that they were in. Now, that's for education purposes. So he came up with this amazing plan. He wants to be, X, Y, and Z, and the schooling is already recognized. It's already courses that they have funded before. But here's the fun thing, is that he's the first one ever to apply for it. He's not the first one to apply for it, but it's his first application. So they're rejecting it right away, told him that there wasn't enough information, and asked him 17 questions that's already on this course's website, that they have already paid for 7 other people just this year this fiscal year, that they have paid for already to take that course. So they can't take his information and go, it's the same as these guys. No, he has to resubmit and he has to check every one of these stupid single boxes again to get that money. And they're like, well, you're not the pat on the head. You're a veteran. You're not really smart enough. So we're going to make you jump through these hoops and hope that you either give up or give up, right? And we resubmitted his paperwork again. And if they do send it back saying that he doesn't qualify, then I'm going to call a friend of mine who's higher up and say this is bullshit, because you're right. You're a veteran. We're going to treat you like you don't know what you're doing. And this is a big problem in Canada. I've come across this for the last 5 years working with other individuals, and yourself, Kevin, with your business. I had one person, they wrote up this amazing business plan, took it to their counselor at Veteran Affairs, handed them the business plan, and said, this is what I want to do. This is what I want my education money for. And the lady said, okay, give me a couple weeks. I'm going to research this. So he was like in blind faith trust going, oh, you're going to research this for me. Right on. You're the SME. You're the subject matter expert. So I'm going to trust you because the government has given you to me as an asset. This lady came back to him 3 weeks later and said, this is not a viable plan whatsoever. And he was devastated. He's like, Nate, they told me it was not viable. Like, this is my heart and soul. I stayed up nights, for weeks putting this together. And everybody in the industry that I work with, they say that this is how I have to do it. And I said, well, did you ask?
With
Well,
no
and I said, "Did you
explanation.
ask her why?" He said, well, I have a meeting. Can you come with me? And I said, yeah. So I went to the meeting. She was like, well, who's this guy? And he's like, this is my friend. He's just here to, help me out because he's going to be my first employee. So we played it off that way. And she's like, okay, well, your business plan's no good. And he goes, okay, well, why? And I'm just sitting there listening. And she goes, well, I took it to other people in the industry that you want to get into, and they said it was garbage. And I'm like, okay, excuse me? So who in the industry? Exactly.
Competition.
She took his business plan to the competition and said, and they
probably
fucking
stole
did.
it.
So I looked at her, I said, ma'am, you just lost your job. And she's looking at me and I'm like, listen, this is who I am. Here's my card. I'm talking to your boss right now because you just cost this guy $1 million fucking dollars. And then we found out that all she wanted to do was force him to take a administrative assistance course. Now, this guy was a warrant. He was in charge of troops. He was a warrant officer in the Canadian Infantry. So not some little new guy out of basic training. This guy had a whole bunch of experience behind him. And she was like, no, we're going to make you somebody else's administrative assistant. A warrant who's used to dealing with 50 troops and an officer tied to his waist, and you want him to work with one civvy who can barely run their law office or legal office or whatever it is the fucking widget factory of the month is, and you want him to stay in a tiny little space with this person. Are you getting a kickback from the school? Oh, you're getting $5,000, not a word of a lie, $5,000 every time
JP.
she signs somebody up to this education program, even if they dropped out. So hearing a successful veteran business makes me hard for, success. Okay, JP, Mike, come on. So I love those stories. So hearing Kevin actually succeed in spite of these limitations is so awesome. And the fact that he's got other veterans that he works with and mentors, I've got maple. Like, I've got a full-on maple sugar.
Hey, Kevin, if there's any non-profit organizations over there in Canada that you could tap into for veteran assistance for business?
Yeah. Well, actually, there's one that kind of that does help. POE, it's like Princess of Operations, and they're pretty cool. They help. They link you up with a mentor, and they've actually linked me up with a billionaire, which was pretty amazing to have like one-on-one conversations for a while with him. We still keep touch, and he still like injects his Bing in once I need him. Obviously, his time is quite valuable, so I try not to take too much of it. But yeah, there's some cool stuff like that they help you. They have like a boot camp, it's called, where they'll get you to drink from a fire hose for like a week, I think, is the boot camp of like learning business, of like how to run spreadsheets and business plans and all that stuff. I've never done that portion of it. I've only done the mentoring or the mentee, which is quite cool. But besides that, not really much that I've heard of on the veteran side of things, or yeah, not really.
You got something you were going to say there, Nate?
No, actually, I was just coughing. And I could turn my damn mic back on.
Click.
I might have some
Click,
really good
click,
beard oil
click,
over my fingertips
click.
right now. I'm just saying. Some really expensive, not expensive, well priced, and so soft on my skin. And apparently it makes my fingertips very soft too.
Mm. Are you talking about KY right now? Anyways, hey, Kevin, what's your website where people can find your product?
Yeah, educatedbeards.com. And we have a .ca too. It's going to redirect you automatically depending where you're shopping from. And we do free shipping over $40. It's anywhere in Canada and the US.
Cool, and you got your I imagine you got your social media going too, right?
Yeah, it's all Educated Beards. Everything's Educated Beards. We got actually trademark registered throughout Canada and the US and all the EU too. So that's been challenging on its own. And then COVID obviously is slowing things down and making you pull your hair out of your head. But don't we all deal with like stress well when you're a vet? That's the only thing that you're good at actually, is like dealing with stress. What do we do? Ramp it up.
That now that you mentioned that, trademarking is a pain in the ass and it's expensive. Now, it's inexpensive if you want to do it yourself. But the problem is, if you do it yourself, once you pay for it, if it comes back for any reason, you just lost that money. You got to pay it again. And they'll kick that shit back on purpose just to get more money from you.
Oh yeah.
Now,
it's been like with the lawyers, like back and forth with the lawyers. I'm like, oh my God, when is this going to be done?
Yeah, I did a research, and there was let me see, I think it was like almost $10,000 to pay a company of like some lawyers that's all they do is $10,000, and that's the basic package. There's other packages that they do more for you, like this one they only do this amount of work, they submit the paperwork, and if it comes back they can do a certain amount of work, but or includes 1 or 2 hours of extra work. It's crazy, like $10,000. I'm like, you guys are smoking a joint right now. I mean, but for some things I guess you need it, so
super legal.
I'm not talking about the joint. I'm not talking about the joint. I'm talking about the the trademark.
Yeah, no, it was about 10 grand. Yeah, to be honest, and it was even worse for like getting our certifications to go to sell our products in the EU. I think that was close to 40 grand, and yeah, it's just everything's nuts, right? You just need to pay these fees to be able to operate in these places. And we didn't even get a PO yet. It was supposed to be 8 months to take that. And then COVID hit, and then no one's working in labs. So they got to start over and start over and start over. So it's been almost 2 years when it was supposed to be 8 months. So that 40,000 we haven't recouped yet, which is, it's heavy, right? It's 40 grand. Like that's what one person makes a year. Like, and we paid for that. And like, yeah. And it was weird, like building this company is like, we manufacture all our own products too. So we have like a production line. Obviously we started everything hand pouring into the kitchen at home. But yeah, it's been like such a learning curve of like building this, how to produce, how to store things, how to have barcodes, how to everything. Right. And you're like, oh, let's figure it out as we go. It's,
I got one question for you, Kevin.
Yeah.
What was that moment that was your tipping point where you're like, it was your make or break, where you're looking at the kitchen, you're looking at your partner, or you just have that moment of doubt where you're like, why am I doing this? Where you just kind of flip the switch and realize, I'm going to keep going with this.
I think like, obviously when we launched the company, we had, Beard Forging came on like a few months later, probably 6 months later, which is, it's allowed now in the Canadian Army to grow a beard, and you need to groom it like to a certain length. I think it's like 2 inches, but every troop's allowed to grow a beard. And I think there's a hair forging now that you're allowed to grow your hair, so everyone's equal. So you can grow your hair into like whatever length you want or need, and it needs to be controlled, obviously. But so growing a beard was like the perfect market, because I was like, obviously a vet, so people were like drawn to that. They needed the education, and then Educated Beards was like teaching them how to groom their beards, and they want to support vets. And then we got into CanX, which is like the PX basically. So we're across CanX across Canada, which has been a really cool partnership. And that was the point. Like it was within 6 or 7 months of like launching the business that we got into CanX across Canada. So we're like, whoa, okay, this is not just mom and pops anymore. This is going to be a real thing. And
So what I'm hearing, Kevin, is since you're francophone, you used the Vandu Mafia and you got the Can for Gen for Beards to Happen. And then you got into the CanXs. You're a gosh darn hero, sir.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy because I was like talking to CanX. I was like, the Beard Fortune is coming. They're like, yeah, we've been hearing that for years. And I was like, yeah, but it's coming for real. Like I had a buddy that was a colonel in Ottawa, and he was like, man, you're so lucky it's coming. And I was like, what? It's coming for real? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I trust you.
So, Kevin, since you educate people on beard, what can you tell me about Mike's beard? What's your professional opinion about that beard?
Yeah, so white beard is the hardest type to take care of. It's like basically dead hair. Whoa, I could say that. My beard is almost white, right? But man, it's actually funny because like young guys are actually dyeing their beards white because they want to look more sophisticated. It's kind of crazy
because the chicks dig it.
But yeah, basically it's like super dry.
Yeah, they do.
Daddy issues.
Yeah, super dry beard, and usually like when it's dead beard, it's like even drier. So your skin only produces a minimal amount of oils, and those oils get pulled into the hair, and that's why we lack and we become itchy. So your beard lacks of oils, so does your skin. So that's why we replenish those oils. And so it's basically like skin oil, it should be called, not beard oil. So it's replenishing the root of the hair and like replenishing the hair itself. And then you can put a balm and like style it very much so. And also washing of the beard is like super important. People are like, I need to wash this thing. I'm like, what? Don't you wash everything?
I can't believe people got to ask that question.
I spend more time on my beard than I do my hair.
Same.
Yeah, it's a toss between my balls.
Just taking care of it.
You know, it's kind of equal.
No, I shave.
And I'm thinking about laser. Let's get some laser done.
Is this nice educated ball lasers?
Hey, man. Hey, Kevin. Hey, you can expand and have a division for laser ball hair laser removal.
Oh no, thank you.
Next thing you know, somebody goes like, "Well, I used to have two until I went to that guy. Now I only got one."
And then JP's gonna ask next time, "What do you think of Mike's ball?"
He's like, "I used to have two. Something happened. Something went wrong with that laser."
Yeah.
he used engraving laser by mistake.
Oh.
It's hurting me right now just thinking about it. Holy shit. Oh my God. Hey, Kevin, and you said you got veterans working with you right now, right? And did you get those veterans? Did you find them on your own? That was some kind of veteran organization that you went through or anything like that?
Yeah, so there's Return to Work off base. The guys that work with us that were like usually word of mouth, and they're like, hey man, I want to work there. I know that you're a vet and you get it. I don't want to go to SPCA or anything like that. So they usually try to find some Gucci place that they're actually going to learn something and implement it. And we're like always doing something new as an entrepreneur. Obviously we're wearing 72 hats a day. So it's pretty cool to have those guys in and like organize, like use all their skills. Like they understand if there's like an order that needs to go out, they like flip a switch on and go. Like you don't need to like motivate them. They just get it, right? So that's kind of cool to be able to really help them get back to like the civilian world and really chill. And that's one thing that I'm very different than in the Army. It's like, hey, whoa, let's calm down this vibe. Like you don't need to be like always wired for danger. Like I try to to apply everything I learned in therapy. I do therapy on a weekly basis, and I'm like, all right, I need to chill the fuck out. Like, I can't just but man, I put a decal on my truck just so I could be like, oh yeah, that's true, man. I can't be a dick while I'm driving because I got a decal that's like my company name. So I try to like not be an asshole on the road, but it's so hard, right? It's so hard to not get road rage, and yeah. So.
No, man, I do it all. Like I do it even wearing my company shit. I don't care. Like when I go off somebody, I go off. That's it. I'm like, you're a fucking moron. It's like, sir, but you're the CEO of your company, and that's why I can say it, because nobody can fire me. So fuck you. Ain't that right, Mike?
All the time.
No, I think we all find ourselves a bunch of times. Shit, how many times we did that, Nate and Mike, in the tactical games? You know, when we're running help run that event. I mean, sometimes you just want to go off, and you're about to, and you catch yourself, and you're like, take a deep breath and relax.
No, I was too busy actually competing.
Look at your environment. You're trying to relax.
I get it, because I try to stay non-political in my business posts and stuff like that. It's really hard, but granted, most of my customer base is aligned the same views as mine, so it's not that bad. So I do a lot of my stories, but I see a lot of companies putting political stuff post in there, and I'm just like thinking, you gotta look at your whole audience based and try to get them all, and leave those personal views,
so
inside
true.
and
for me,
in your
safe.
That is
so important to be apolitical, right? Like, three sides to a coin, and people tend to forget that. Like, you can see something from a different angle and still think the same thing, but it's the way that you're looking at it is different. So I don't know, man. Apolitical is so hard.
I'm looking at a customer base, not I'm looking at my customer base, trying to reach as many as possible, and but not see. I see too many companies really pushing an agenda one way or the other, and I'm just like, you're alienating probably a percentage of your customer base, whether it be small or big. It's still alienating your customer base. And
I do the same. I mean, Mike, if you look at Knows the Fiance Group, you don't see political posts over there. Why? Because this is a company that provides services and do stuff. It's like, we're not, lobbyists. We're not politicians. We leave that for the experts, right? Like, that's not what we do. So we're not going to go into that. Even my personal Instagram, my open Instagram that I do question and answer Wednesday and offend people. If you look at it too, how many political posts do you see on my Instagram? You don't, because I really don't post any political. Now, if I see a funny meme, right, about, Biden or Trump or whatever, a funny meme, I might repost it in my stories, but I don't go in a political rant on my Instagram.
Well, I've seen some questions you get. They're political questions, but you pretty much keep it even keel and just usually.
I answer funny. I answer it with a joke, but I don't go into a rant because
No.
First of all, doesn't matter what I think. If you already in your head you got your political position, whatever I say is not going to change your mind anyways.
Well, here's a fun fact, guys.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
So in Canada, we actually have a bill that is being passed about guidelines for social media use and hate speech and definitions. And we're kind of in a bit of an upheaval right now based on how many users you have, what you can say, what the guidelines are, and how much the government can influence you. Yes, this is a real thing. I am not making this up. It was all snuck in around the same time that our C31, C10, and the other ones, and when they took the ARs. I am not conversing on this politically right now. I'm just saying that there is stuff out there. I have a certain amount of followers, I have over 3 followers on my Instagram, so I have to be very careful what I say politically and all that fun stuff. Side note, I made a satire comment of 7-minute rant about government, not a government, not the government, just about government. Since I did that live, I have not been able to go live on Instagram. For some reason, the live button has disappeared from my platform. I could have deleted it. I am not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that in general, there's stuff that has happened. So I now don't do satire. I just do look at me in the really short shorts deadlifting. Look at me on the range with no pants. You know, here's my beard. Fun, simple family stuff. You know, it's all good.
Yeah, but I mean, Nate, but don't change who you are either, right?
No, I'm not. So here's where I'm going to finish with that. That's what she said. So if I see something that makes me lose sleep and causes me to go, okay, as this is my company, this is me, Nate. This is my personal page because I've changed from a business page to a personal page. I have that freedom to stand up. But as a business owner, you are a leader in a community. You have to be very cognitive, and you three gentlemen have businesses and in the communities that you have to be very cognitive of. As somebody who owns nothing and just lives off a pension and does whatever the heck he wants, this guy with his 3 followers, I can make whatever jokes and stuff I want, but I do keep it very clean because what is the point of getting into an argument with somebody that doesn't want to listen to something that's rational or irrational because of their stance? They have their position. I have my position. If we don't both come off of our positions for the interest of the conversation, nothing's going to change. So why even start that conversation? And that's my view of it. And that's my neighborhood. And thank you guys for visiting.
Nate, you said it a few times that I'm here trying to figure it out, but who the hell is the 4th follower? Because you got Mike that follows you, myself, and Kevin. Who the fuck else wants to follow your account?
I said 3. Oh, I have my fake account that I send myself duck pictures from.
There we go.
Every Wednesday on Hump Day, I send a duck picture to myself.
Got it. I'm like, I know he don't have that many followers.
Is that passed? Is that when are we supposed to know about this, and when are we supposed to implement these things? Not that it's going to affect educated beards because we're super apolitical, but I'm just is this out?
Actually, it will affect how business went.
And Kevin's not in charge of social media.
But it will still affect. It will affect any posting. It just hasn't happened right now because of everything that's happening in our country has pushed everything to the side. It's one of those things that's probably, if they got themselves organized in this, broken down truck in the middle of town hadn't happened, then they'd be pushing that stuff forward right now. So it's on hold and we're waiting to find out.
Right.
You know what is funny? I got a few people that help me with knows the field on social media, right? And there's one person in particular who helps with the people that makes comments or ask questions in Spanish, right? Because they know we work everywhere, so there's a lot of people from South America that follow us. Sometimes, specifically out of Puerto Rico, we get a lot of this is a paramilitary company, trained freaking terrorists that go around, mercenaries,
right.
blah, blah, blah. We don't. And they start freaking rambling in Spanish. And a lot of times I see the message, right? But I don't want to reply. And I keep looking at her I want to say something to this. And I'm like, oh, please, social media, dude, reply before. I'm like, if you don't reply in 10 minutes, I'm going to reply. It's not going to be good. And then all of a sudden I see, well, thank you for contacting us. This and that. I'm like, oh, he saved me. He saved me.
So Kevin, you don't look at your own social media?
No, I don't really try to follow that. We don't have a TV. We don't have a microwave. I try to slow my life down, basically. Yeah. We're just pretty, I talk to my social media manager, and we're like, hey, let's make a plan. We have a daily plan of we're going to post about this. And then it just rinse and repeat basically, for the month. But that's about it. They deal with all that. And I'm not really good.
So you understand the process, but you don't look at the comments.
Yeah, because that pisses me off most times.
That's a smart man. That's a smart man right there.
There's so many trolls, right?
You know what? That's what I need to do. I need to not look at the comments, but I can't help it. I gotta look at them, right? I gotta look at them, man.
You like chaos, JP.
And then
you like
it
me.
pissed
like
me
chaos.
off. I want to say something. It's like in Let's Walk It Out, like a nonprofit, Kevin, that I run, Let's Walk It
Oh,
Out.
geez.
We actually got a
Yeah.
social media manager, like a girl that's what she does, like that's her job. And so she runs that, and she scheduled the post like a month ahead. She already knows the schedule, what's happening, all that crazy stuff. So she replies to a lot of those. So I try not to look at them. And sometimes I see him and I go like, oh, no, you didn't. And I go like,
It is on.
and I go like, hey, Tiffany, did you see this message? And she's like, I got it. I'm like, ooh, okay.
Look how calm Kevin is right now. He's like, chill. I don't have to deal with that. I just point there, say that, do that. And I just sit back in my chair and comb my beard.
You know what, Kevin? At some point, I'll get there. I want to be like Kevin. I want to be like
social
Kevin.
media. When I
Yeah,
come down
social
and see
media
you on the
manager.
26th, I'm going to get Kevin to send me the new massage oil, and I'll bring my table, and we'll get you all relaxed, big fella.
You got massage oils?
Educated Beard has massage oils now.
Wow.
And I've been taking their online course, and I'll tell you, I'm feeling very educated.
So does it take like 30 seconds?
No. 30 seconds to get you there.
I'm saying if it does, I would like to get some.
I can get you there in 30
No.
seconds.
I'm on the road a lot.
Oh, you guys.
So it's like when you start shooting like this in your trigger finger, instead of doing this one, this is the better way to do it, right? So it's a new shooting technique I've worked on this week. I've got a range video coming. The massage oil is going to help.
Perfect. What? Huh? What? Hey, Kevin, we're getting ready here to get to the end of our show. But if you want to send a message to veterans about pursuing their goals, starting their own business, or anything like that, what would you say? Right now, you got an audience in front of you. They're all veterans, and they're looking at you as Kevin, my hero. Tell me what to do.
Yeah, basically, the military trains you to basically think outside the box and problem solve, and that's what an entrepreneur is. You'll struggle with mental or physical illnesses, and it's all part of the journey of being an entrepreneur. And actually, you're equipped more than anyone else because you got your brothers and your sisters beside you that you can actually bounce ideas by, and they're going to be straight up. They're not going to bullshit you like family does. They're like, oh yeah, good work, go do that. But your troops are actually going to tell you straight up oh no, that's bullshit, and it's actually really good. They're the best cheerleaders that you can have. So problem solving, that's all we do in the military, because everything's always breaking down and everything's always gun taped together, and you're always fixing everything red and green show basically. So being an entrepreneur is the same thing. It's you just got to fix thing and be not calm about it, but obviously I'm never this calm. You can ask people, they're just man, you're so dramatic. Why is this always end of the world? I'm ugh. But yeah, and you could do it. The military's trained you to basically not give a fuck about anything. Yeah, and just go.
That's awesome. Hey, Nate, you got anything you wanna share before we head out?
Well, I do, but it's kind of personal, so I'll keep it to myself for now.
Okay, perfect. Great.
Okay.
That was probably the fastest comment that you have made all night.
Everybody likes a quickie every once in a while.
No, since we've known him.
Holy stuff.
No, I do just want to point out that we appreciate Kevin and
Here we go.
his beard, even though it's mostly apparently dead hair with the whiteness there. It's still pretty epic. And I do want to say that Kevin and I did serve on the same base at the same time, but our beards never entwined. I'm just putting that
really?
out there.
Oh, that's kind
Yeah.
of that's
I know that's the question we're going to get from the viewers afterwards.
Is that like
It's
a
a beard
bromance?
mance. Yeah, you have to have at least 3
Beard
inches
man? Okay.
to have one.
Sorry, JP.
No, thanks for coming on the show, Kevin, and thanks for letting me play with your products and our
Play
future
with your
endeavors.
products.
Anytime.
Hey,
Anytime.
Mike, you got anything?
No, I'm not going to follow that. But I'll just support what Kevin says. Last comments were. I mean, it's just taking the skills that we acquired and learned and used in the military and applying it towards business. No one can do it like we can. I mean, it's the problem. It's problem solving. I couldn't agree more. It's just we attack it, break it down, and attack it and fix it.
Yep.
So,
yeah, no, that's perfect.
Well said.
And it's like we always talk about finding new purpose, and I think we've been saying it right, but I think last week Campamore said no, not finding. We all have a purpose. You just need to reapply it in a different environment. So when we were in military, we had a purpose. That same purpose we need to apply in a different environment now, which is great. And that's what Kevin is doing. That's what Mike is doing. I don't know what Nate is doing, but but that's what we're all trying to do. Hey, Kevin, thank you so much for being a guest in our show. Thank you for sharing your experience with us, and good luck. And I hope you continue to grow that business. For everybody listening, educatedbeard.com, right, Kevin?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
In Spanish, educacionbierdado.com. No, I just made that up. Please don't try to look for that link. Once again, educatedbeard.com, and go ahead support. Go ahead and support Kevin. Support his business, veteran owned, and I can't wait to try your massage oil when Nate gives me okay, no, we'll talk about that later. All right, everyone, thank you so much for listening, and remember, no matter what you do, do not cash out.